The afternoon light slants through my office window, casting a golden glow across the row of gaming awards lining my bookshelf. Each crystal trophy catches the light, different lifeless testaments to the journey that took me from homeless teenager to founder of North Star Games. I run my finger across my latest achievement, Game Innovation of the Year, and smile. 18 years of proving everyone wrong looks pretty good on my shelf. The doorbell rings, pulling me from my moment of quiet pride. I'm not expecting anyone. My team knows I work from home on Tuesdays to focus on our newest concept, and Zoe has her keys. I open the door and freeze. My mother stands on my porch, looking smaller than I remember. The confident woman who once ruled our family home with immaculate appearances has been replaced by someone with deeper wrinkles and anxious eyes. She clutches a weathered cardboard box against her chest like a shield. "Eden," she says, her voice wavering. "May I come in?" 18 years of minimal contact holiday cards returned unopened, voicemails deleted, graduation invitations ignored, and now she appears unannounced at my door. The urge to close it in her face nearly overwhelms me, but curiosity wins out. 5 minutes, I say, stepping aside. She walks into my home, eyes darting around, taking in the evidence of my success, the modern furnishings, the framed magazine covers featuring my games, the view of downtown Minneapolis from my window. "You've done well for yourself," she offers. I don't acknowledge the compliment. "Why are you here?" Her hands tremble as she places the box on my coffee table. "There's something you need to see." I make no move toward it. "After 18 years of silence, you bring me a box?" "Please," she whispers, pushing it toward me. "Just look." Sighing, I lift the lid. Inside are letters, several of them, neatly stacked. The moment I see the first envelope, my stomach drops. University letterheads, acceptance letters, my name. 7 of them, all from 2005. My fingertips go numb as I lift the first one. Prestigious Northeastern University. Game design program. Full scholarship. I open it with shaking hands, reading words that were meant for 17-year-old me. "We are pleased to inform you of your acceptance." I look up at my mother, ice forming in my veins. "You hid these from me." She sinks onto my couch, shoulders curving inward. I didn't know what to do. Bailey was struggling with her applications, getting waitlisted everywhere. Her voice breaks. I couldn't let her feel like the lesser daughter. The memory crashes over checking the mailbox every day after school. My heart races at the sight of thick envelopes, only to find bills and advertisements. Dad's disappointment growing each day, no acceptances arrived. Bailey's smug expression behind our parents' backs, as if she knew something I didn't. "You let Dad kick me out," I say, my voice dangerously quiet. "You watched him call me a failure at dinner that night." I can still hear his voice booming across our dining room table. "Not one acceptance letter? After all that talk about game design programs? You didn't even try, Eden. Not like your sister." My mother's eyes fill with tears. I never thought he'd go that far. I just wanted to give Bailey her moment. Another letter falls open in my hands. California Tech. Full ride. They'd wanted me. I slept on Jamie's couch for a year and a half. I continue, my voice hollow. I lost everything. My home, my boyfriend, my future. The memory of Matt's pained face as he broke up with me surfaces. I can't handle all this drama, Eden. My parents think I should focus on someone more stable. "I know," Mom whispers. "But look at what you've accomplished anyway. You're so much stronger than Bailey ever was." I laugh, the sound brittle and sharp. "Now you're proud of me, now that I've succeeded despite you." I remember the tiny back room of Console Heroes, the repair shop that became my reluctant salvation. Learning to fix gaming systems by day, teaching myself coding at night, my fingers cramped from hours of practice on a secondhand laptop. Each rejection from gaming companies who wouldn't look twice at a self-taught programmer without credentials. One by one, I place each acceptance letter on the coffee table between us, creating a physical timeline of what was stolen from me. 7 paths to a different life. 7 doors slammed shut. Mom shifts nervously, her eyes fixed on the letters. There's more I need to tell you. The family. We're having some troubles now. What kind of troubles, I ask, though I already know where this is heading. Bailey's going through a divorce. She lost her job at the firm last month. Your father's health isn't good, and the medical bills. She stops, perhaps seeing the coldness in my eyes. I feel nothing but a detached curiosity. After years of struggle, after building everything from nothing, they've come for help. Why are you showing me these now? I ask, my voice measured and calm. She blinks rapidly, caught between honesty and self-preservation. In the silence that follows, I already have my answer. The letters between us tell a story neither of us can rewrite, but only one of us will determine how it ends. The morning sun glints off the still water of Lake Superior, casting diamond-like reflections across my cabin's pine floors. I've chosen this spot precisely for its contrast to my childhood home open, instead of stifling, natural instead of staged for appearances. No family photos line these walls, only framed concept art for my most successful games. I hear tires on gravel before I see the car. My shoulders tense as I spot Bailey stepping out of our mother's sedan. Even from this distance, I can see how the years have changed her. The polished attorney persona has faded, replaced by someone who looks perpetually tired. Her designer clothes have given way to department store basics, and her once perfect highlights now show a half-inch of dark roots. Mother emerges next, clutching her purse like it might flee. I make them wait a full minute before opening the door. What a lovely place, Mother says, her eyes darting around my cabin. Her tone carries the same forced cheerfulness she once used when inspecting my less-than-perfect school projects. So, rustic. Bailey sinks into my leather couch without invitation. Nice view. Must have cost a fortune. What do you want? I remain standing, arms crossed. Mother perches on the edge of an armchair, rehearsed smile in place. We thought it was time for some family healing, Eden. After I showed you those letters. After you confessed to sabotaging my future, I correct her. She flinches but continues. Yes, well, it's time to move forward. Families make mistakes, but we're still family. I remain silent, watching as their carefully constructed script unravels in the face of my stillness. Bailey breaks first. Mom, just tell her. She turns to me, irritation sharpening her features. Dad's medical bills are piling up. The insurance isn't covering his heart treatments. I lost my partnership at the firm last month, and Jason is dragging out the divorce proceedings to avoid paying alimony. And this concerns me how? Mother leans forward. We know you've done well for yourself, Eden. That gaming company of yours, North Star Games, I supply. Currently valued at $47 million. Mother's eyes widen slightly. Yes, well, we thought perhaps you might help with Dad's medical expenses, and Bailey needs somewhere to stay while she gets back on her feet. I walk to the window, studying the shoreline while processing their audacity. So let me understand this. You hide my college acceptances, let Dad kick me out at 17, ignore me for 18 years, and now you want what? Money? A place to stay? You always were dramatic, Bailey mutters. I turn slowly. Was I being dramatic when you helped hide those letters? Her head snaps up. What? Mom just told me yesterday, but she didn't have to. Your handwriting was on one of the envelopes. Return to sender. The realization had hit me last night while examining each letter more carefully. Bailey's face flushes. You were always showing off with your little computer games. It was embarrassing. Embarrassing? We always thought game design was just a hobby, dear, Mother interjects. Something you'd grow out of. Bailey leans back, arms crossed defensively. We never thought you'd actually succeed at it. The rage that shoots through me is so intense I have to grip the windowsill. While you were attending law school graduation parties, I was sleeping on a repair shop floor because Jamie's parents couldn't keep me forever. While Dad was bragging about his lawyer daughter, I was working 3 jobs and teaching myself coding at midnight. I walk to my desk and pull out an old laptop, scratched and dented but still functional. This cost me 4 months of paychecks. I sold plasma twice a word it. Every gaming company rejected me because I had no credentials your family made sure I couldn't get. My phone buzzes. Jamie's name flashes on the screen. Hey Jay, I answer, turning away from my family. The team meeting's still on for 4? Jamie's voice grounds me, reminds me of who stood by me when it mattered. Perfect. Tell Marcus I approve the new concept art. See you then. I hang up, strengthened by this brief connection to my real support system. Mother watches me intently. Your team sounds important to you. They are my family, I say simply. They believe in me. Always have. A flash of memory. Christmas Eve 6 years ago, huddled with Jamie and our first 3 employees around a space heater in our tiny rental office. We'd ordered Chinese food while my parents attended Bailey's law school graduation celebration. Eden, Mother begins, her voice softening to the tone she once used to coax me into family photos. We're still your family. We made a mistake. A mistake is forgetting a birthday, I reply. What you did was deliberate sabotage. Bailey stands, desperation replacing her earlier defensiveness. I need a place to stay while I get back on my feet. Just a few months. I look at them both, these strangers who share my blood, but none of my values. I think of the letters, carefully preserved in my office safe. Of the 17-year-old who cried herself to sleep in Jamie's basement. Of the girl who became a woman without their help or love. I stand, straighten my shoulders. Towering over them both, I feel nothing but a distant pity. Family doesn't steal futures, I say, walking toward the door. My voice carries a calm certainty that surprises even me. I'll be in touch. I hold the door open, the message clear. As they shuffle past, I remain rooted in the doorway of the home I built for myself, one they could never take away. The first month's rent for my apartment eats nearly every dollar I've saved. It's a generous term to call it an apartment more accurately. It's a studio the size of a generous walk-in closet, with water stains mapping constellations across the ceiling. But it's mine. I arrange my secondhand desk beneath the only window. The desk wobbles when I type, so I fold a takeout menu and wedge it under the short leg. My whiteboarded garage sale sign dominates the wall beside my twin mattress on the floor. It's covered in multicolored scrawls, game mechanics, storyline fragments, and a growing collection of rejection emails paraphrased into lessons. Concept lacks market viability. Translated. Make something people actually want. Insufficient technical demonstration. Translated. Learn to code better. Requires industry experience. Translated. Find another path in. 3 a.m. finds me hunched over my keyboard, eyes burning. Then it happens not with a dramatic flash of inspiration, but with a quiet realization that settles into my bones. I've been designing games I thought would impress established companies. Games I don't actually want to play. I push away from my desk, grab a marker, and wipe my whiteboard clean. In the center, I write 2 words. North Star Games. My own company. My own vision. No more begging for approval from gatekeepers who can't see past my lack of credentials. Month 11 of development, and my landlord's patience wears as thin as my wallet. I stand in the parking lot of Lenny's used cars, watching a stranger drive a Honda. The envelope of cash in my pocket feels simultaneously heavy and insufficient. It's enough for 3 months' rent, maybe 4 if I cut back on everything else. 2 weeks later, I'm coding by candlelight. The electricity notice came, yesterday final warning. Service terminated. My laptop battery has 3 hours left. I gather my notes. The 24-hour diner 3 blocks away has outlets and free refills for paying customers. The waitress there, Vera, has started saving me the corner booth on Tuesday nights. My phone buzzes as I lock my apartment door. Bailey's name flashes on the screen. Hey there, little sis, she says when I answer, her voice dripping with sugary concern. Just checking in. How's the little game project coming along? I hear the eagerness beneath her words, the hunger for details of my struggle. These calls always come when our parents are nearby, so Bailey can relay my failures in real time. It's going great, I lie, shivering as I walk through the November chill. Investors are showing interest. She pauses, momentarily thrown. Oh, Well, that's nice. Dad got the family newsletter printed. I made partner at the firm, so there's a whole section about that. What she doesn't say, I'm not mentioned at all. Just like the Christmas card that arrived last week with the Brooks family, signed in my mother's perfect handwriting. You've got 15 minutes. Marcus Washington checks his watch, not looking up from the stack of portfolios on his desk. As founding partner of Washington Gameworks, he's a legend in indie development circles and notoriously impatient. I place my laptop on his desk and open the prototype. No fancy presentation, no rehearsed speech, just the gamey vision made real through months of solitary work. It's called Recode, I say, stepping back to let him explore the interface. An immersive narrative where players literally rewrite their world to solve puzzles and advance the story. His fingers move across the keyboard, testing boundaries I've spent months perfecting. 14 minutes pass in silence. Where did you study? He asks without looking away from the screen. I didn't, self-taught. Now he looks up, really seeing me for the first time. Bullshit. I taught myself C++ from library books. I shrug. JavaScript from online tutorials. He leans back in his chair. You're Eden Brooks. Yes. The coffee shop girl who fixed my daughter's gaming console last year. Marcus is quiet for a long moment, studying me with new interest. Then he reaches for his checkbook. 20,000, he says, writing, for 10% equity in whatever company you're forming to develop this further. My knees nearly buckle. Don't thank me, he interrupts, tearing out the check. This isn't charity. This is the best investment I'll make this year. Jamie's resignation letter sits on my kitchen counter. Her steady corporate job traded for the uncertainty of what we're building. You're insane, I tell her, not for the first time, as we unpack equipment in our rented office space, a former storage room above a print shop downtown. Probably, she agrees, setting up her workstation. But you needed a CTO, and I needed to stop designing soulless mobile games for people who don't care about gaming. Our team grows slowly. Marcus introduces us to Zach, a gifted artist who creates worlds with his stylus that make players forget they're looking at pixels. Then comes Dana, whose music compositions turn simple animations into emotional experiences. We work through Thanksgiving, eating pizza at our desks while coding. Christmas finds us debugging through the night, the office decorated with a single strand of lights around our whiteboard. Shouldn't you guys be with your families? I ask during our 2 a.m. pizza break. Dana shrugs. My parents still don't understand why I waste my music degree on video games. Zach raises his soda can. To chosen family, we clink cans, and I feel something settle in my chest of belonging I haven't felt since before those acceptance letters were hidden away. The email arrives on a Tuesday morning, 13 months after I wiped my whiteboard clean and wrote North Star Games. We're interested in featuring Recode in our spring showcase. The platform is small but respected, known for highlighting innovative indie games. I read the email aloud to my team, our faces reflected in the monitor's glow. 2 weeks later, our download counter begins to tick upward after the showcase, then faster. By midnight, our server crashes from the traffic. While Jamie works to get us back online, I print the first review. 5 stars. A groundbreaking narrative experience that redefines player agency and storytelling. I frame it, hanging it above my desk, where a college diploma might have gone in another life. This is my degree, my validation, my proof. This is the path I built when every other one was stolen from me. The morning light streams through the floor-to-ceiling windows of North Star's headquarters, illuminating the sleek, modern space we've built from nothing. I stand at the threshold between my modest office and our state-of-the-art testing lab, watching my team work. 42 employees now, each one carefully chosen, each one believing in our vision when the industry said we'd fail. My office remains small and functional, just enough space for creativity without excess. But the testing lab beyond is our crown jewel. Cutting-edge equipment, customized workstations, and the vibrant energy of passionate developers. The contrast isn't accidental. I've learned that balance between humility and ambition is what drives sustained success. My eyes drift to the framed review on my Waller first positive press coverage, when GameStream called our debut release revolutionary in its approach to player agency. I had it framed not in gold or mahogany, but in the same cheap black plastic as the frame that once held my high school diploma. A reminder of beginnings. My phone buzzes for the third time today. Mother again. I silence it without looking and return to my desk where my tablet displays the latest in a growing collection of desperate family communications. 7 voicemails from my mother in the past week, each more urgent than the last. Eden, please call us back. We really need to talk. Your father isn't doing well. He's asking about you. Can we please just have lunch? Somewhere public, if that makes you feel better. And then yesterday, the security footage Jamie forwarded. Bailey standing in our lobby, demanding to see me, eventually being escorted out by security. Her designer handbag clashing with her frayed composure. This morning's email from our PR director included screenshots of my father attempting to connect with our business partners on LinkedIn. Clumsy digital footprints from a man who once called computers expensive toys. You need to see this, Jamie says, appearing in my doorway with her tablet extended. Her expression warns me it's nothing good. I take it and scroll through recent social media posts from my family member Sutton, enthusiastic mentions of how they've always supported Eden's creativity and how family has always been the backbone of her success. Mother has even unearthed a photo of 12-year-old me holding a gaming controller, captioned with fabricated pride. They're getting desperate, I say, handing the tablet back. Jamie sits across from me. What's your play here? I don't answer immediately. Instead, I open my bottom drawer and extract a leather portfolio one Marcus gave me when we secured our first major investor. Inside is the legal consultation I obtained last week, outlining options for establishing formal boundaries. I've been doing some calculations, I tell her, revealing the spreadsheet I'd been meticulously developing, about exactly what was stolen from me. Jamie leans forward, her eyes widening as she scans the document. You're itemizing it? Every dollar. My voice remains steady, emotions carefully contained. 4 years of tuition at California Tech, housing costs, projected entry-level salary in game development from 2009 to 2012, opportunity costs, interest. I slide the tablet toward her, showing the final figure, $184,200. My assistant Raj appears at the door, freezing when he glimpses the spreadsheet. Is that what I think it is? It's an invoice, I confirm, for what I lost when they decided my future wasn't worth as much as Bailey's ego. Are you actually sending them a bill? His shock is evident, but there's something else in his expression, a recognition of the power in quantifying pain. This isn't about money, I explain, though of course it partly is. Money speaks the language my parents understand. It's about acknowledgement. They want to pretend those years of struggle never happened. That they didn't watch me nearly destroy myself building something from nothing. My team stays silent as I finalize the PDF, attaching it to an email with a simple message. If you truly want to make things right, this is your starting point. The cursor hovers over send for only a moment before I click. It's done. 3 minutes pass before my mother's reply appears. We don't have that kind of money. Not, I'm sorry. Not, you're right. Just an immediate deflection of responsibility. I close my laptop and look up at the concerned faces surrounding me. They understand what comes next, even if my family doesn't. This response tells me everything I need to know about their sudden reappearance in my life. The next step in my plan crystallizes. It won't be about revenge, I've moved beyond that. It will be about closure, about drawing lines that can never again be crossed without consequence. I stand, suddenly eager to return to the testing lab where real work happens. Let them worry about how to respond, I say. I've spent 18 years figuring out how to live without them. They can spend a few days learning what it feels like to be powerless. As my team disperses, I pause at the framed review on my wall, tracing the word revolutionary with my fingertip. Some revolutions begin with grand gestures. Others, like mine, start with an invoice, and the quiet power of putting a price on what was once deemed worthless. The afternoon light slants through the conference room windows of North Star Games, casting long shadows across the polished table where Jamie and my three closest team members sit. Their faces reflect various shades of concern as I lay out the acceptance letters in chronological order. I've thought about this for weeks, I tell them, my voice steadier than I expected. The invoice was just the first step. Eliza, my lead designer, glances at the letters, then back at me. They didn't respond to the invoice at all. Oh, they responded. I pull up the email on my phone. My mother said they don't have that kind of money, as if that was ever the point. Jamie leans forward, elbows on the table. 18 years of friendship has given her an almost supernatural ability to read my intentions. This isn't about getting even, is it? It's about closure. Exactly. I tap my finger on the University of Southern California Letter Me Top Choice, full ride, the golden ticket to the future I dreamed of. I don't want their money. I want them to understand what they took from me. Marcus, my marketing director who started as an intern when we were both working out of a garage, frowns. What are you thinking? A letter? A formal statement? I shake my head. Something they can't ignore or explain away. Something that will sit in their house and remind them every single day. The team exchanges glances, but it's Zach who finally speaks. The acceptance letter itself. Framed. For the first time today, I smile. With a very specific inscription. My hands tremble slightly as I lift the USC acceptance letter from its envelope. The yellowing paper feels fragile, like a pressed flower preserving a moment that never fully bloomed. I smooth it carefully on my desk, studying the official letterhead, the enthusiastic language, the generous scholarship offer. This one, I tell the framer, sliding it across the counter in its protective sleeve. I want something simple but substantial. Black frame, acid, free matting. The framer, a gray-haired woman with artist's hands, studies the letter. This is from 2005, she observes. Must be important to you. It was supposed to be, I reply, my voice carefully neutral. I'd also like an inscription on a brass plate at the bottom. She reaches for her notepad. What would you like it to say? I hand her a slip of paper with the words I've crafted and discarded dozens of times, until landing on the perfect phrasing words that encapsulate 18 years of struggle and triumph. Her eyebrows lift slightly as she reads it, but she asks no questions. I'll have this ready by Friday. Would you like it gift wrapped? No, I tell her, but I would like the highest quality glass you have. I want it to last. My living room feels too quiet as I stare at the finished frame. The black border gleams in the lamplight, the letter perfectly centered on cream matting. At the bottom, the brass plate catches the light, my message engraved in elegant script. This is what I earned. You were never worthy of it. Jamie sits across from me, nursing a glass of wine. Are you sure you don't want to deliver it yourself? See their faces? I shake my head, running my finger along the edge of the frame. That would make it about me need to witness their reaction. This isn't about me anymore. It's about them living with the truth. Courier service, then? With signature required. I wrap the frame carefully in bubble wrap, then place it in a sturdy box. No return address, no note. Cold, Jamie says, but her tone holds admiration rather than judgment. Precise, I correct her, sealing the box with packing tape, like cauterizing a wound. 3 days later, my phone pings with a delivery confirmation. The package has been signed for by Thomas Brooksby father. I stare at his name on the screen while standing in the middle of my company's test lab, surrounded by developers playing our newest game. I expected to feel something more vindication, perhaps, or at least relief. Instead, there's only a strange hollowness, like the aftermath of a storm. My phone buzzes again. A string of texts from my mother. I delete them without reading. Whatever excuses or justifications she's offering cannot change what was done. That night, I can't sleep. I pace my living room until 3 a.m., the delivery confirmation still open on my phone. Something feels unfinished, despite the perfectly executed plan. At dawn, I sit at my desk and open my laptop. My fingers hover over the keyboard for a moment before I type Educational Opportunity Foundation requirements. The idea crystallizes as the Sunrise CISA scholarship specifically for students whose families don't support their educational dreams. Full funding, mentorship, and housing assistance for those who, like me, might otherwise fall through the cracks. I call Jamie at 6:30 a.m. I need to set up a meeting with our financial team. I tell her when she answers, her voice still thick with sleep. What's wrong? Nothing's wrong, I reply, feeling the hollow space inside me beginning to fill with something new. I just figured out what to do with all this pain. I'm going to turn it into someone else's opportunity. By noon, I'm sitting across from our company's financial advisor, outlining my vision for the Earned Future Foundation. As I describe the scholarship criteria, his initial skepticism transforms into genuine interest. This is more than a tax write-off, he observes. This is a legacy. I think about the framed letter now sitting in my parents' house, the silent rebuke it represents. It served its purpose closing one chapter, but this foundation will open countless new ones. The best revenge isn't sending a message, I tell him, pulling up the application form I've already drafted. It's making sure no one else has to overcome what I did. The spotlights feel warm on my face as I step to the podium, scanning the faces of 10 students seated in the front row, each one holding an acceptance letter not hidden in boxes or stolen from mailboxes, but proudly displayed in their hands. Welcome to the inaugural class of the Earned Future Foundation. My voice catches. Each of you was selected not just for your talent, but for your perseverance in the face of family opposition to your dreams. Sarai, front row center, nods vigorously. Her parents refused to support her software engineering ambitions, preferring she follow family tradition into banking. Now she clutches her MIT acceptance letter, fully funded by my foundation. After the ceremony, I duck into a quiet hallway, breathing deeply. Dr. Winters, my therapist of 18 months, would call this progress allowing myself to feel the weight of this moment instead of deflecting with work. That thing with your hands again, Jamie says beside me. The one Dr. Winters calls emotional lockdown. I uncurl fists I hadn't realized I'd formed. Old habits. 3 days later, my loft fills with the smell of birthday cake. No grand celebration, just my chosen family, Jamie, Zoe, Marcus, and 4 team members who've become more than colleagues. They sing off-key around a cake decorated with a phoenix rising. Zoe's hand finds mine under the table. Make a wish, she whispers. I don't need to. For the first time, I feel comfortable owning my journey, all of it. The local news interview wasn't part of my plan. The foundation was meant to operate quietly, but the story went viral. Now I sit across from a reporter whose eyes calculate my value in viewers. Your story is remarkable, Miss Brooks. What drove you to create opportunities specifically for students whose families don't support their career choices? I consider my practiced answer, but something shifts inside me. My parents hid my college acceptance letters. I say simply, they let me believe I'd failed, then kicked me out at 17. These students deserve better. The reporter blinks, recalibrating. Have you reconnected with your family since your success? My family is here today, I say, gesturing to the room where scholarship recipients mingle with my team. Supporting these students. Later that week, I sit across from Tyler, a 17-year-old game design prodigy whose father called his passion a waste of time. The code you wrote for this physics engine is impressive, I tell him. With refinements, it could revolutionize mobile gaming. His eyes widen. Really? My dad says I'm just playing around. My parents said the same thing. I turn my monitor toward him, showing the prototype that became North Star's breakthrough title. As Tyler leaves, my assistant mentions the news segment is trending online. On my screen, an alert shows it was viewed in my hometown. I imagine my parents in their living room, finally witnessing what they lost, not just me, but the chance to be part of something meaningful. The nationwide expansion announcement exceeds our expectations. 30 scholarships next year, with partnering tech companies offering mentorships. Standing at the industry conference podium, I unveil both the program growth and North Star's most ambitious game yet. that weaves lessons about chosen family throughout its narrative. Success isn't measured by meeting family expectations, I tell the audience. It's about creating something meaningful from your unique vision, regardless of who believes in you. That evening, I retreat to my cabin on Lake Superior. The sunset paints the water gold as I read a letter from Sarai, now completing her first semester. You showed me that sometimes our real family is the one we build, not the one we're born into. On my wall hangs a framed acceptance letter not sent back to taunt my family as I once planned, but displayed prominently in the foundation office where it inspires others. Sometimes the best revenge is creating the future they tried to steal from you.